We are live with the one and only Tom Hunt. My name's James Ski. This is a LinkedIn teardown with the one and only Tom Hunt, a creator that has come from nowhere this year, but has a history of building fantastic businesses. Some that have been a success, many that have been failures, but his current business is a great one. Tom, welcome. How are you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling good. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this. I can't wait to get the profile up and we can rip it apart.
Well, that's what we plan on doing. But before we rip it apart, I'd like to hear from our guest, just so we can understand who you are before we bring up the profile. Like, who are you? Who's Tom Hunt? How did you get here today? And what do you represent? And then we can take it over to the LinkedIn profile.
So I had a pretty normal, boring life, I think, until I was 22. So never did anything entrepreneurial before. Had loads of jobs. And then when I was 22, I realized that I wasn't really enjoying my work. I just joined EY. Maybe I shouldn't say the name. Just joined EY and was working auditing IT systems. And I realized I just didn't like it. But I also like the internet. So I realized I couldn't be employed, but I like the internet. So I had to do something related to that. I also couldn't code. So I was left with basically online marketing. So since 2013 to today, I've just been spending a lot of time learning how to sell things on the internet. Only recently, I've started to move away from selling and more into like business building because we have people to do the marketing for us now, And that's basically led us to where we are today.
Amazing. All right. Well, let's get straight into it. I'm just going to repost on our LinkedIn profile so we get some good traction.
I will also engage.
This is what I love about this. Like, we've already got people coming in. Don't be shy if you've got questions, come and ask. But let's get straight into this profile, because the first thing I want to pick on is, who is the real Tom Hunt? Because that guy there looks beautiful, and that guy there looks unrecognizable. When was that photo taken, Tom Hunt?
So I was very fortunate here. I had an old colleague who's starting a photo business, and this would have been in like 2017, and I was just been living in Budapest, going through one of these like cycles of trying to build a company, and I was just eating like nuts and eggs. So my body fat was like super low, and I was like running, and then I came back. He took the photo, and then I just use it everywhere to up until today.
Well, okay. Now, how do you feel? You look great. It's obviously working for you. What would motivate you to bring it up to date?
Good question. I recently did a sponsored post for an AI company where they augment your profiles, your profile pictures, and I wouldn't actually use an AI one. I would probably just pay for a photographer to do another one of me, but I'd probably try and get the body fat down a little bit lower first. But it's just not like on my to-do list, Like, why would I need to do that? I guess people like will see me on LinkedIn and then see me in real life and feel like they're being catfished, but I don't really feel that's a big issue.
Then do you. All right. This top real estate is well used. I love this secret team, like ghostwriters for copywriters, the secret team behind your personal brand and your podcast. It's
That's
very
copied, by the way. There's a guy called Eli Rubel, who's an agency called Matamade. And actually, he doesn't have this anymore, but their company picture, company cover picture had that. And so I literally just lifted it.
Oh, good for you for listing that. It says exactly what you do on the tin: podcast production, which is a buzzword, and growth. And then straight away, massive credibility with some huge enterprise tech companies. And then the name of your brand, Fame, which I believe is shaped like a megaphone.
Shaped like a megaphone. Yeah, exactly. Well, so one of our values is growth. And so it's showing like something growing.
Okay. Now, I have to be honest, I love this line because it keeps increasing, and it's so much respect in a world which is full of inflated VC valuations, Series A to G to D. I've gone backwards there, but whatever. 3.8 million ARR now, according to you, 0 raised, and I have no idea what I'm doing, which is kind of a bit of a weird combination of a humble brag, a bit like cheesy, but I can see how it works for you. You don't talk about your business. You don't say what you do. It's already covered up here, and I'm sure it's covered down here. But it's like, I'm in the millions. I didn't raise anything. I'm an idiot. But you're not an idiot. But this zero raise, come on, you must have put 20 grand onto some equipment. You must have done something.
Absolutely nothing. So we started with a starting account, and the first money in, oh, sorry, okay, it might have been like, I don't know, £100 to pay for a domain, but the first money in was money from a client. You're right, there's a lot going on with that tagline. I think the most important learning, though, is what I've learned through this like decade in marketing. It's like pattern interrupt. It's just so different. Even the fact that it's not capitalized, the words are not capitalized, than any other like tagline you'll see. I think that's the main reason why it works.
I buy all of that, and even now, I'm actually going to get you to go onto mine because I think we do a teardown on mine after I've roasted yours.
Yeah.
You went to Imperial. I used to recruit from Imperial. You're obviously a bright boy. What did you study at Imperial? We'll get to that, but what did you study?
Chemistry.
Okay, very tough subject. Okay, we're learning more and more here. Now, here we go. Pattern interrupt again. Jan 2014. What happened? He's going to tell us. I know the story, but everyone can read along. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is amazing. You know, he went from depressed, no idea to nowhere. Fast forward a decade. When you say 17 businesses, is that 17 ideas that you farted in front of the family Christmas table, or 17 companies that you registered as legal entities?
I think it's probably 5 legal entities, but so the rest were like smaller ones where we didn't get to that stage.
Okay. Invested 11, learned a lot, and then one finally came. This is the hero story right there. You know, loser, you know, breaks out the rat race, try hard, loses, learns, wins with fame. And what a win. I can't believe I actually have to clap this guy because I met Tom quite some years ago when he was not in this position. And I would like to be at this level and some. So I think it's absolutely awesome what you've achieved here. And I love this summary. And I think, if I'm honest, it's no surprise you've got over 180,000. This, bar the photo, you can bring it up to speed. That's a 9 with the photo. That's a 10 out of 10 profile.
10 out of 10. I think that couldn't get any better.
You could not get any better unless you change your photo. You don't need to change anything.
Appreciate that. What about the features section? How am I doing there?
Okay, yeah. Now, what this demonstrates, and you know how annoyed I get because I message you every time one of these photos comes up. There's no way you're not gaming this. There's just not, because like.
What do you mean? You think I'm spending on ads? Do you reckon that's how I'm getting the?
I think you've got, you know, and no disrespect from anyone in any region of the world, but I've got, you know how you see like there's mobile phone farms that used to do it on Twitter a lot. I think you're connected to some guy in Asia with a mobile phone farm, and as soon as your post goes out, you beat the algorithm in the first 15 minutes, and then you get it because it is total drop. It's pathetic, and yet everyone was, and you don't even need to respond to get traction here because
you're clearly not the ideal reader of this content, then, are you?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm guessing I have read this one. What will you tell us? You talk us through it. Why has this been so successful virally?
Should we go to the one with 300 likes, or
if you like?
Should we do the 100?
No, we can do whatever.
No, actually, yeah. I think this is better.
What, you want this one?
Yeah. So, okay, well, why does this work? I think there's probably 6 reasons. First is, we'll start with the juiciest one. I think, and not confirmed, that one of the strongest signals for the algorithm to give your post more attention is how many comments you get that are long ones, big chunky comments from people that you don't know. So if that is true, then everything we need to do on this post is to try and, that's a great example there. Like there's a third degree connection. It's like that comment's longer than the post. So if that's true, we have to do everything we can to try and maximize the number of people that don't know us that comment with big chunky ones. So we go to this post, and I actually don't know if I think I kind of understood this by the time I did this post. If you scroll up, basically one effective way of getting a lot of chunky comments is to talk about something that has an obvious exception or it ignores some kind of nuance. And so in this post, maybe you can tell me, James, but so what do you think it is that most people are commenting about?
I'm guessing it's having a one-to-one with your manager. That's what this is all about.
Well, no, it's the fact that I cancelled it.
Okay.
So I cancelled it because we basically didn't, they were on target, whatever. But the fact that I just cancelled it and I didn't ask them if they wanted to jump on and we can talk about their life and how they're doing, or that I didn't even ask them if they wanted the meeting or not. These are the obvious, that's the nuance that I ignored. And that's why everyone's chiming in. All the people that are great at management and great at leadership are chiming in saying how I should have done it differently. And so I understood this by the time I did that post, but I didn't think it would have that kind of impact. So that's the first thing, is how can you get a lot of people to comment? And that's like, you don't need that to get to 1,000 likes or like 200 comments, but you need that, I think, to get to 100,000, 300,000 likes.
And you've consistently done this. So what is it though? What's the framework? If you had to give 5, 6, 7 points, what's happening here? The photo must be the right photo, time of day, time of week. Are you in a certain country posting this? Spacing, bullets,
yeah, so it's
remarks.
So it has to be skimmable. You have to be good at copywriting. You need a photo of a person where the face is like a big part of the photo there. You can see the face clearly. Sunglasses also has proven to increase engagement. Adding a agree question mark at the end always typically works. And then talking about something that the majority of people on LinkedIn want to talk about, which is HR, leadership, management stuff. So that's like the summary.
Now, a lot of people would argue, yeah, but so what of going viral? The people that matter, are they going to see this or read this post?
Should we jump into Google Analytics? I'll get this up while we're here, so I can explain how much traffic this post drove 1 month ago. Cool, yeah. In short, what you really want on LinkedIn, in my opinion, is to talk about stuff that you like a lot, that you're doing every day, and that you can make money from. Now, unfortunately, I've only got 2 of the 3 of those because I'm talking about HR stuff. We sell podcasts. So it isn't perfect alignment for me selling Fame services. It is perfect alignment for getting people to want to come and work for Fame. But if I sold a HR service or HR SaaS, then I would probably have a bigger business, I think. But yeah, it does have these kind of posts do have a massive impact on traffic. So this was a month ago. I'll get up exactly how much traffic it drove, and it probably would have driven. Oh, we'll do this when we get the traffic. So a month ago, roughly October. Yeah. So on Friday, the 4th of October, which I think this is when that post kicked off, our site got 1,756 sessions from.
How many of
1,756 in one day. Organic social sessions, which would have been the complete, like 99% LinkedIn. So on that day, it probably drove 20 to 25 proposal requests, which is like a lead for us. And these proposal requests from these LinkedIn posts are not super qualified, because really we want a big B2B company that's been planning to create a podcast for like 6 months, not someone who's just found my post on LinkedIn and be like, oh, I could do with a podcast, So the leads are not that great, but it probably would have got a client.
I'm impressed.
And if you think about the time and cost for that post is like minimal. I probably wrote that in half an hour. But then you have to do a lot more stuff to build up that kind of that love from the algorithm, over like years.
So let's talk about when did you wake up to what you were doing something right? Is there some other creators that you're happy mentioning that have inspired you? And then what have you consistently done over time? Because I have to be honest, and I worked for LinkedIn, and unless you're Barack Obama, right, and you're based in the US, let's be fair, and I haven't done the research, maybe you have, cracking 100,000 followers in the UK must put you in the 0.000000001%.
Yeah, maybe.
This is a crown. It was never really on my head, but it's yours. I mean, like, when did you? When?
Yeah.
How long? You know, I'd love to crack 100,000 and make a few million. So, what is it you need to do?
It was 3 years ago when I started posting consistently. So this was trying to post 5 times a week, but I didn't do it. It was like on and off for 2 years. And if you scroll back through the post, you'll see like hundreds that were just like 7 likes, 15 likes, 20 likes. It was only at the start of 2024 where I was like, I'm going to focus on this, and made a real effort to try and really completely nail LinkedIn. That's the Vodafone promoted post. So it didn't get a lot of, it's probably my worst post ever, but they pay for it. So it was only this year where I was like, okay, I'm going to crack LinkedIn. And I learned from a lot of people. There's a guy called Matt Barker who I paid to review my posts. That was the end of 2023. So that helped a lot. I learned a lot from him. And then the style of posts that go really viral, that style has actually been used a lot before. And all I've done is combine that with a single image with a person close up to like make it go a bit harder. So Oleg Vishnopolsky, I don't think he posts much anymore. He was the ex-CTO of Daily Mail. He used to tell these HR stories.
Oh, I remember. I forgot about it. We need to bring Oleg back. Wow.
He also pioneered, you see people with whiteboards now. He also pioneered that. So he used to hold a piece of paper with like these uplifting messages on. And that's that's the seed for everyone else doing that now.
Where is he still alive? I don't want to be crude, but is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. I spoke to him on email recently.
Get Oleg. So you're going to get me Oleg to the LinkedIn teardown.
Yeah, I reckon I can get him to reply to an email if I enter you. And so really what I just took Oleg's uplifting HR stories, combined that with Matt Barker. He posts like lifestyle pics about him on holiday and stuff. So I just combined those two to make that starter post. Yeah, here he is. Absolute legend in the game.
He is an absolute legend. Do you remember a guy called Josh Fetcher Banff?
Yeah.
So he also, it was him, Oleg, right, who literally every day would out kind of perform each other's virality. And
yeah, I don't think either of them are posting anymore though.
They're not. Josh quit the business on back. I think he got totally banned from LinkedIn, and lives on a beach somewhere in California. And by the looks of it, Oleg hasn't done it for 7 months.
Yeah, that's a real shame.
That is a real shame. And it looks like he's retired, I'm guessing. So maybe he's just I mean, look at where, oh my God, double click. I mean, this is someone who needs a statue, really. I mean, he was at IBM in 1983. Like, wow.
But I remember, like, James, when before I started Fame, before I even posted on LinkedIn, you were pretty big.
Mate, this breaks my heart. Don't bring this up. Look, this is why I've started the LinkedIn teardown, because for those that don't know this, and I like to remind people, at one point at LinkedIn, while I worked at LinkedIn, I was the #1 social seller in the world, 97 out of 100 social selling index. I was one of the first in the country to get access to video. I had viral articles that would go viral, not to that rate that you had, but at least millions of views and impressions. And that allowed me to build, sales confidence, the business and the brand. And it was so obvious, but I didn't change. I didn't evolve. And the thing is, when I get depressed, I just go off LinkedIn for a few weeks and then I come back and do the same again. And this is what I had. There's a guy, an SEO expert, because I'm looking at SEO services, and he was like, "Listen, what's your number one channel for leads?" I said, "Oh, it's LinkedIn." I said, "But I can't do LinkedIn anymore." He goes, "What do you mean you can't do LinkedIn?" I said, "I'm not getting any traction. It's not working. I'm struggling with it." He's like, "Man, you've given up on yourself. Go back." And that's why I'm just going around interviewing the world's top creators, because then hopefully I'll figure it out again, and I'll get back to where you are.
Well, you just need to get some posts with the sunglasses sitting in an Italian cafe.
Well, while we've been talking, look what I've been up to in ChatGPT.
What do we got here? What do we got?
This is
You created a version. Yeah, I mean, test it out.
Let's see what happens.
This is good, yeah.
Okay, so let's learn a bit more about you. I like someone that does a podcast, because I do a podcast. What's the confessions of a B2B entrepreneur? I guess it's a good example of drinking your own dog food or champagne. Oh, sorry. And like, who have you interviewed that's interesting? How successful has it been for you? Is it something that's still going, etc., etc.?
Yeah, it's probably made the money back because we have the system and process. It's very low cost for us to run. It was weekly, now we just dropped it to bi-weekly while I've got other stuff to do. I host the show. It used to be called Confessions of a B2B Marketer, moved it to Entrepreneur because I don't really do marketing anymore. And interviewed Adam Robinson. You mentioned you spoke to him recently. David Hanneman, Chris Walker, like relatively big names from B2B marketing entrepreneurship. We have got customers from it, people coming inbound saying they heard about us from the podcast. It's sponsored by Fame, so we have ads for Fame at the start and end. It also does have sponsors, so I have sponsors for that and my LinkedIn profile, so it does make money on its own. So I think it has been profitable over the years. It hasn't been like a runaway success, like 5,000 downloads a month. If I spend more time on it, more than like 2 hours a week, it could probably grow faster. But at the moment, it's serving its purpose. I get to meet cool people.
That's the reason why. Can I ask? And I don't know if you've noticed on TikTok recently, they have a STEM section for science, technology, and education, whatever the M is. And I always thought that if TikTok created a business-only professional feed, it would attract a lot more business people in there, because there's a lot of interesting people teaching. Rather than LinkedIn trying to be TikTok, I think TikTok has got a better chance of adding some LinkedIn-ness to it, rather than just dancers. I actually like TikTok. What do you think of TikTok?
I won't let myself download that or Instagram on my phone because I know I'll just be on it the whole time. So I've never had an account, but I've seen it on other people's phones, and it's like crazy how addictive it is.
Yeah.
So I just can't do it.
It's incredibly impressive though, like, some of the outcomes. But anyway, I digress. The one thing though is, why has B2B software entrepreneurs and B2B software companies not cracked YouTube?
That's a good question. I don't have the answer. One guy I think has done well. It's a cold email guy, Alex. Oh yeah, Alex Berman, I think, and obviously Hormozy, but he's not. I don't know if you call him B2B.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, so this guy Alex Berman, he's like the cold email guy, and he's got 123k subscribers. Why haven't they? I'm not sure. I don't have a good answer to that. Probably the content is just not like as engaging for people on YouTube than like these vloggers, Like if I feel like a TV channel.
Yeah, but I feel like, long form content is valuable to people in B2B.
Yeah, but it's just not as engaging, like visually, of having just two people chatting like this.
Yeah, it's boring, but that's why I've added this element of like the teardown, because I think this makes it a bit more interesting.
For sure, but we're competing against like documentary level vloggers,
Yes, but yeah, I agree, but I just wonder, like, it's now this one happens to be a bit late, and I can see we've got about 10 people watching. If you want to say something, please comment to me direct. Everyone's always a bit shy when they come on this show, but like, I do feel like when everyone's switched off from LinkedIn, they're having dinner at home, and what they got to do now? They're going to go watch Netflix. They're going to watch YouTube. They're going to play Xbox. Even adults are doing this, or they're going to read a book maybe, and that takes them away from digital. Or they're going to sit down with their partner, wife, whatever, go for a beer. It's Thursday. We're the sad ones, aren't we? Doing a podcast. You booked it. You booked this, by the way, but I accepted. But I just wonder if there is a world where you don't have to be super entertaining, but you have to be knowledgeable, and that there's a reason to put B2B content. And I think Adam Robinson's probably going to be the first one to crack it.
You reckon he's going to do
it? He's got a production engine now.
Yeah, I did see the videos he created for the previous business. He's also like super charismatic, has an amazing voice. He's like almost like an actor.
He's got the kind of, like Johnny, like the hair, and yeah, man, like if I make 20 million there, I don't know. Like, that was quite a good one. Chris Walker, what's his YouTube presence like? Let's have a look at that.
Yeah, he's another same like super charismatic American marketer CEO with a great voice. Like these kind of people are just going to do better than people like me,
Yeah, but hold on, mate. You've got 180,000 followers on LinkedIn. Let's just not.
Yeah. I'm talking about YouTube. I can't do video. I'm not charismatic enough.
No, hold on. Right, we need an intervention, people. Tom, forget that for a second. Right, you are a successful entrepreneur that's got a lot to share, and people would love to see you in action, without a doubt. Right. I'd love to understand. Honestly, this is an intervention right now, people. Remember this video with Tom Hunt. He's at like 10 followers on YouTube, which is still more than mine on YouTube. Like, why not? I mean, let's jump over. This isn't really a YouTube teardown, but let's just do Chris Walker's page.
Yeah, so what's he on? Yeah, I mean, not killing it. 7K subscribers. Have you come across Chris Walker before?
Yeah, on LinkedIn. Funnily enough, though, I have, I don't know why, but I've never really stopped for Chris. Do you know what? He's not, for me personally, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him. He just doesn't happen to be a scroll stopper for me. where Adam Robinson, you have to stop to see what he's doing.
Yeah, well, Chris's content is only like deep demand gen stuff, whereas Adam Robinson might be a bit more applicable for more entrepreneurship bootstrapping.
Yeah, maybe you're right, but it's still interesting stuff. It's not bad. I mean, another one, I don't know, we can talk about this all night. Let's see if anybody's watching live.
Oh, here we go.
Man, it's so out there. Look at this, 128 subscribers after posting 250 videos. It's so embarrassing. My bad hair shorts do better. Look.
But back in the day, your LinkedIn video, I remember you on the phone, right? You'd be like on the train and you'd be doing a video. Like they used to pop off. Like, what happened to those? Well,
basically because I don't go to London anymore and I don't get in an Uber like I used to. So those, you're right, that was my thing. People, if you want to look back at my content, like I'd be in an Uber. This was like 2018. I'd be back in the Uber, and Uber was kind of new anyway. So it was like, who's driving James around? And I'd be, telling their life. And I got that from Gary Vee, because I met Gary Vee in 2018. And Gary Vee's all about document, don't create. So, all right, there's a lot of other stuff going on here back in your career. Is there anything else, just mindful of time, that you would want to highlight or share that's been valuable to you to become a successful entrepreneur and a successful LinkedIn creator?
Yeah, the angel investing we can probably just put to the side. I haven't got any money back on that yet, so not currently investing anymore. Not sure if it will return all the money. I think EY and Accenture, I didn't really enjoy it. I learned a lot about how to run meetings, write emails. And then the rest are just failed companies.
Well, all right. So let's focus on the future of fame. Where is fame today? Is that accurate? Where do you want fame to be? And where do you want your LinkedIn presence, engagement to be by this time next year when we do this again?
The revenue is accurate. It has been flat for a few months though. And it isn't like 100% recurring. You know, we have some clients that are like, we're only going to do a podcast, one series for 6 months. So it looks maybe slightly misleading, but it's 95% recurring. We are at 60, 70 people. My big goal, or what I'm trying to do, is get to 10 million ARR. And that I think would be an awesome challenge. I'm going to have to get a lot better at LinkedIn, have to get a lot better at managing, leading, etc. So that's the goal, hoping or trying to do that over 2-3 years. In terms of LinkedIn, I fall in and out of love with it like all the time. I'm currently out of love with it at the moment. What we have done in the last month is get sponsors. So we have like 2 or 3 sponsors now. So it is making money on its own, which is good. And I'm just going to try and do one viral post a week. I used to try and do like viral every day. So I'm going to do one viral every week, one sponsor post every week, and then other stuff that I actually like really care about, like the stuff I'm doing day to day in the company. So that's what I'm going to do at LinkedIn. So I don't think it'll grow as fast as it has this year, but maybe it'll be like 250K followers by the middle of next year. Be happy with that.
Okay, cool. Well, my man, like this has been enlightening and actually super, super enjoyable. Thanks for dropping on. And have you got an invite to my book party launch?
They have a new book.
Yeah, 27th of November.
Yeah. Whereabouts?
If people are still watching, it's at Blue Marlin in Shoreditch, down the road from where you are.
Oh yeah. It used to be the Curtain Club. Yeah. I'll come. Is it in an evening?
Yeah, in an evening. Anybody watching? Oh no, just put your bloody name there. Anybody watching right now? If you got this far, we'll give you a VIP tickets for you and your whole team to come along. So use this link.
Where's the link?
Can you see it in the
LinkedIn.
chat? I'll message you.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
So the VIP code is James Ski. Get your free ticket. You can give everybody who's watching on a Thursday. I love that. I love your attitude. So get on there. Make me happy. Make yourself happy. That's the key thing.
What's the 6 p.m. till 3 a.m. What's the book pitch in one sentence?
So the book is called How to Build Sales Confidence, and it focuses on the philosophy of building your mindset, well-being, and performance. So I'm all about supporting salespeople perform in a sustainable way.
Love it. 3 a.m. So there's going to be eclectic mixes, chart, R&B, garage, and house.
It's going to be wild.
Going to be big. All right. Yeah, I'm going to pop in.
All right. Legend. Stay as long as you want. Get some sushi. Get some champagne. Get some cocktails. We got some. I've come up with 5 cocktails. Show me the money's one. Always be closing. Go classic old school here. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. This has been your latest episode of the LinkedIn Teardown with the wonderful Tom Hunt. It's been fantastic to have you on board. If you want to learn more, just go find Tom on LinkedIn. He's got 180,000 followers. If he can't accept any more, come find me, James Ski, and help me out a little bit. Tom, have a great evening, mate.
Appreciate it. Thank you, James.